back with another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. Made it through the weekend, getting the week started off well, and I thought for today we'd head on down to Glenwood and talk with the Mills County Area Chamber of Commerce and Gitzy Loder, who has, she's approaching a full year, I think, of having that position, and she's doing great work there. And talk about some of the different events that are going on and the exciting things that are happening in Mills County. And that is today's show. We'll have it for you coming up in just a bit. Castle and Associates of American Family Insurance, your local insurance provider for your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. They have locations, 4 different places, actually. They are in Trainer. They're also in Council Bluffs and across the river in Bellevue and in Elkhorn. So you know that they are here to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis Castle and his team will educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call for your free quote. And if you have a leak, a clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, your first call needs to be to Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs. You know, they've got you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. Locally owned and trusted, take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike. Call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit waldsteinplumbing.com. Time to find out what the latest is happening in Mills County, and no one better to talk to than Mills County Chamber Executive Director Gitzy Loder. Thank you so much for coming back on the show again. It's been a while. We need to get you on more often, I think.
Yeah, I was looking back. February was the last time I came on. So
Really? Yeah, that's too long. Yeah,
yes,
that can't
a
be.
long time.
We can't do
From
it
winter to summer. We skipped spring.
then. Well, you have been very busy. I've been to 1 or 2 events down there as well. But what's happening? What's the buzz going on right now around Mills County Chamber?
You know what I'm really excited about? We have, and I talked about this in February, our tourism committee has really kicked off and just made so many connections, improvements, is really getting the ball rolling when it comes to our website, visit millscounty.com, which is that tourism aspect of the chamber. So we have that chaired by Lou Peveril, who owns Hillsdale Lily Garden in Glenwood, and her season's wrapping up with the lilies in August, but she is full steam with tourism. So super excited. They've been creating. They've created a kind of a little cheat sheet of things that happen in Mills County. And this, I can send this to anybody. We're putting these in Airbnbs, VRBOs, anywhere that we're going to have people coming in from out of the area, and even for our local residents. Some people don't even know some of these events happen, because Mills County Chamber is a county chamber and not just a city chamber. So we cover, we cover from Pacific Junction off of I-29 and 75 and going down 34 to Emerson. So we are, just growing so much. We're getting members to join from Red Oak, from Council Bluffs, from Bellevue. So it's this collective community, the surrounding Southwest Iowa communities, and even Eastern Nebraska, really tying in, what's happening locally and making it aware of all the tourist attractions that people can come check out, and kind of more of this rural vibe.
I've noticed that what affects one area seems to affect all of the areas. So you're talking about Mills County, but other counties around Southwest Iowa, as Mills County grows and as tourism grows there, we see it's happening other places at the same time. And it's like everybody's just kind of walking this path together, and it's not competitive. It's collaborative.
Yes, I love this like Pollyanna quote, is basically like, if you look for the good, you'll find the good. And I think that's what's happening. I think that the people that we have on our committees, from our ambassador committee that was recently created, to our tourism committee and our board, and even just the communities that advocate for business overall, that energy is really starting to grow. And I think the mindset is shifting to more of that, like you said, collaborative feel. We aren't Glenwood Chamber. we are Mills County, and we're really trying to create that message that we want to be unified. So we have been working with the smaller towns to try to pool kind of that unified feel of Mills County, and get them to understand that we're not like cookie cutter, we're not a box, we're really thinking outside the box, to see how we can ultimately all improve the quality of lives for people that are working, whether it's in eastern Nebraska or even, going into Montgomery County. It's all good happening, and it's because we're focusing on the good, and we're looking for those businesses, we're looking for those partnerships and those collaborations that are going to help us grow and get to that next level. So it's that momentum that is building right now.
And it's also about new people coming into the area. And then a lot of times, these are entrepreneurs that want to be able to start a new business. And things we're seeing are historically, you wouldn't expect to see something like that in a small town, but now it works and it's growing, and that attracts people to coming in from the city, and they go to a smaller community and they say, wow, I see the point. I see why it is that people want to live here.
It's, if you think about, I feel like maybe not everybody has it, but the more I talk to people, the more I see that there are people doing side hustles that have this dream to, serve their community in a certain way. It's very much that what this country was based on, building something for yourself, for your family, but it's serving the greater good also. So it is this holistic um, feel. And I just feel like we're seeing a lot more people take a risk on themselves, take a risk on the dreams that they have to do it their own way, kind of pave their own path. And maybe they still work at a larger company, but they're still taking a risk on themselves. And I think that it's a beautiful thing for somebody to, make that move, and maybe not go in 100%, but still just take that first step. And so we're seeing a lot of seeds planted, other entrepreneurs taking a risk on themselves, those people that have that inkling, that kind of whisper to move in a different way, that is fulfilling to them. They're being inspired and empowered by those in the business community to start to do that as well. And so that is all through networking, conversations, seeing other people move, seeing how business owners are getting creative with their businesses. There's a lot that's going on here. But it's really inspiring to see the entrepreneurs come out and the small business owners start to empower those that, may just be starting out.
When it comes to being a member at the Mills County Chamber, obviously you want the big companies, but it is also made up of a lot of these smaller entrepreneurs that you're talking about. Is it a different thing that you approach that you have to bring depending on the size of the company, or have you created something that maybe is a more of one size fits all kind of thing?
Never a one size fits all. I think that everybody that joins has an objective or a goal, and their goal might be different, right? So we did start a business connectors group, which is more, from my background in business development and sales, uh, is that kind of that sales, referrals, leads group. So we have that available. We have the ambassadors, which, those are individuals. Maybe they work for somebody, maybe they're entrepreneurs that just want to support the business community, want to make connections when they have time. A lot of this just depends on the availability of the employees, of the entrepreneurs, uh, what they want to see, even in the next few months before the end of the year. They can really hone in on a certain area. So we try to provide a couple options for them so that they can really see where they need. And maybe in January it shifts for them. Maybe they take a like kind of revamp their business. Maybe they need to start going to networking events versus, um, you know, just in their business. So there's a lot of different reasons. Some people just want the chamber to market for them and help build awareness of that they're there, right? If you're not seen, nobody knows you're there. So I really talk to everybody. We do get a lot of people join without even talking to us, which is pretty fabulous. We end up talking to them, but that they just take that risk, that they just know that they need to make this investment. And then from there, we hone in and say, okay, how can we help you with your goal? So we do get very granular and very specific and keep those communication lines open with business owners and leaders and individuals, so that because it's all about timing, and things are always changing. So I can't say that I ever want it to be cookie cutter, but I do want people to know that there are different options available for them when they want to make a shift into how they can grow their business.
I think that these networking events that you're putting together are key to a lot of that, because a person can make a connection at one of these without realizing that this is an industry that I never thought that I would have anything collaborative with, but it's going to happen. And you just never know where that's going to come from.
You never know. And something I was taught very early on in my sales career was it's great to have centers of influence. So when you meet a Todd Studer talks to a lot of people. So if you just were able to make him aware of what you do, he's going to talk to 500 people, right? And so if you can connect with a lot of these people that can be your centers of influence, then you're not overwhelmed, burned out, exhausted by trying to figure it out all yourself. And so that's truly what the chamber is as well. And that's why people invest in the chamber, is because they want to make it a little bit easier uh, to get their name out, for people to be talking well about them, to set up that trust and the reputation before they even see a person or talk to them. Like, it's going to come ahead of that. So uh, again, there's a lot of dynamic there with the centers of influence, but it is kind of that core thing that I want people to think about when they're investing in the chamber, that is a benefit to joining, and making connections and actually taking time to go to networking events so that you can grow.
How has the attendance at all of the networking events been? I mean, are you seeing an increased awareness and also uh, an increased desire to be a part of that?
And I'm sure, Todd, you've been to networking events where people click up,
Hmm.
they have the little groups. Um, the networking events here are very like authentic, right? So sometimes we'll get large groups, sometimes we'll have 15 people. So it does fluctuate, but I say quality over quantity always, because like you just said, that one conversation could be that shift, could be that lead into an opportunity that they didn't even think was possible, because we do have kind of, we get into our daily worlds and we're just doing the things that we do, but then we meet somebody else that just adds another level. So, example, Monday, we are having a small business roundtable, kind of a mastermind event here in Glenwood at the Museum, at the Historical Museum. And it's going to be that. It's going to be, how do we start to put ourselves out there and have people hear what we're going through, so that we can mastermind, or basically shorten our path to success, so that we don't have to spend the next 10 years trying to figure this out. Now that I've made this connection with somebody who has given me some valuable information, I can actually be more successful sooner. And so that's what these events do. So networking, great. Small business roundtable, a mastermind event, speed networking. We've had that. The business connectors group, the sales group. They're all bits and pieces that add on to the foundation of personal growth and professional growth.
There's a couple of things that I've heard recently. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Obviously,
Yeah,
in my industry, that's what I do.
you're in the
And
yeah.
most of them are business podcasts and growing your business and things like that. And there was a couple of things that I heard recently. One was, obviously, if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. But also, it's every single person you meet has more information about some topic than you do. Everyone.
Right.
I don't care who it is. There's something that they know more about than you do. So we are always in a position to be able to learn at these networking events from everybody that's around us.
Yes, you just have to come in with an open mind. And I say curiosity as well, kind of going on what you said. If you think you know everything, you're not going to be curious, right? Why did this person start this business? What's in it for them, right? And how are they serving the community? What makes them passionate about it? So just starting to think bigger. They say the quality of your questions determines the quality of your life. So if and if we think that, and if we know that every question already has an answer, then we say, what kind of questions am I asking that are really making me think bigger and connecting me to my purpose, the way I show up. the way I serve, who I serve, right? So we really start to think, okay, what kind of questions am I asking? When I'm curious, when I'm networking, it's not like, oh, hey, how's it going? What do you do? No, we're thinking bigger. We're asking questions that are going to deepen the trust of that connection, make it more authentic versus surface level talk, which can be very common in the networking world. Um, but again, just showing up. I think showing up is such a big piece. If people don't see you, especially in small town America, if people don't see you, they can't trust you. So you showing up is showing them that you can be there for them if they need the service that you provide, the product that you are offering, things like that.
Yeah, it's I have talked about it on this show multiple times that yes, everywhere that you go in business, relationships are important, but there's no place where it's more important than doing business in a small town. The relationships are, I mean, it goes past just saying that it's key. It's necessary, it's critical, and it needs to be genuine. And this is a way to be able to do that with those networking events or any of the things by becoming a part, and people see that, yes, I'm giving back to the community in which that we live. And that is for being in small business, I'm really thinking there needs to be more of a focus because there's such a huge audience that live in communities the size that we live in all across the
Yeah.
country. And I sometimes think that we all get ignored when it comes to larger outlets like a podcast or programs because they're focused on cities. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with cities. It's just things work differently there. And
It's
in a small town, those relationships are so key, and you need to plug yourself in. It's difficult to be a success in a small town if you're just hanging back and don't ever want to talk to anybody.
right. Yeah. Definitely showing up is important. And um, I think just having been here, gosh, I started October.
Mhm.
So October will be a year. And over that time, I've been obviously understanding how the finances work, how the marketing works, how people are connected, who are the connectors, right? So really doing the background legwork on chamber things. And so now I'm looking at 2026 and starting to do the programming, and get the vision for 2026 starting it now. Last year when I started, in October, I was kind of just trying to wrap up the year. Course, get the feel for how I could do that in the best way possible. And now we're taking a step back. We aren't doing a lot of events that maybe have historically been done, because as we had talked in our first podcast, change is inevitable, and there are some things that can hold space better for leaders in the area, for business owners, entrepreneurs. And I think that's really important for me is to be able to provide opportunities for people to just come in. I'm not going to say this is not about the chamber. This is about holding space for people to think bigger, grow, and give them the tools and resources to do that. So the programming for 2026 is really all about that. I've already started some of those programs and groups, and we just really want to expand that next year, so that it feels more fluid, and it just kind of becomes like a well-oiled machine where we know that people, when they join in businesses, when they join the Mills County Chamber, they're going to get value.
I really liked what you had said about reaching out a little bit further, and you're seeing businesses from Council Bluffs, you're seeing businesses from Red Oak, which are not in Mills County, but at the same
Right.
time, it's not just that. They want to expand their business. They see, no, there's real value to here. And I can actually grow a business in another community that's outside of the county by incorporating everything that's going on inside of Mills County. So and that is true, I think, in every chamber that exists around in the region, that we're all just kind of melded together and things overlap. And we need to take advantage of that overlap.
Yeah, it is that whole concept of working smarter, not harder. I love chambers and their work because we are ultimately trying to help businesses go from, if one of their objectives is sales, um, sorry, it is to go from, instead of like going from one to one to one, which those conversations are important, you now have access to one to many, right? So with our network and the people that advocate for the chamber, that are on the board, that are our ambassadors, people know about you and they can talk about you intelligently, to other people, so that you're not always out there feeling like you have to hustle and grind, right? Which, in entrepreneurship, it is, there's, there's this, is there such a thing as work-life balance? Maybe not in entrepreneurship and small business ownership, but but just being able to have those conversations, communicate with people, tell them what you do. They're going to be talking about you even when you're sleeping. So that's the thing, is just having that access to one to many. So that's a benefit of joining the chamber for sure.
Do you have any other events that are coming up soon that we can help promote for you and let people know that they're going to be happening?
Well, we will have the mastermind forum on Monday, which that's all of our events are open to the public. So if you're a member or a non-member, so you'll see that on the event, on even our Facebook or our website. You can go to our events and you'll see those on the calendar or have direct links to those, so you can see what the difference is. We're always doing ribbon cuttings. We have ribbon cutting for Tri Valley Bank. They opened up a Glenwood branch. They're going to have that tonight here in Glenwood from 4 to 6 p.m. And then I have just been super impressed, even for people that are not chamber members. We have so much live music, karaoke, great restaurants. If you wanted to hang out in Mills County, you could have a great 1 night, 2 night stay, and catch some live music, beer, wine, food, and just hang out with some like really good people. So I would just say, look at our events calendar, check out what's going on. If you have an event, you can also submit an event wherever you are, put it on there. So that goes to me, and I say, hey, allow that to go on the events calendar. So we are letting people that even aren't chamber members put their events on our events calendar, because we want people to kind of holistically gain value from the region, from Southwest Iowa region. We're not thinking just like Mills County. We're thinking this is a bigger region, right? So please add your events and check out what's going on, because these small business owners, they really work hard to get people in their doors so that they can provide. It gives them joy. It really fulfills their mission to have people in their space. So I just know how much effort is being put into that. And I will say one more thing. The Lust Hills is a very popular spot for hiking and outdoors and kayaking and all those things. So we have a lot of that available here. And then we have a downtown revitalization going on in Glenwood right now, which is upgrading a lot of storefronts. So if it looks like some stores are not open, we do have rear entries to a lot of these older buildings. So make sure you check out a business from the back as well. I see maybe some alley projects coming up in the future just because of this. You know how COVID really caused us to innovate and create new ways to operate.
Right.
I think when a business has to kind of shift operations, it really helps us see, oh, we can do it this way too. So that's been
Well, that's
fun.
exciting. That's exciting that all
Yeah.
of that is going on. And I know that tourism has been a conversation in Glenwood and in Mills County for a long time. And I'm encouraged and energized to see it all coming together. And it's actually now being out there, and uh, uh, people are taking advantage of it. And so, yeah, go to Mills County and spend a weekend, spend just a day trip, and get on out and see what some of these
Yeah.
small towns have to offer. Gitzy Loder, you're doing a wonderful job there at the Mills County Chamber, and we're grateful that you came on and filled us in a little bit. We're not letting it go that long again. So we're going to get you on sooner than 6 months or whatever it's been.
Yeah. I thank you so much, Todd. I appreciate everything that you're doing and your reach. and the connections that you're making. I know so much we get into our day to day, and we don't take time to celebrate our wins, but you're doing amazing as well. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to the next time.
If you or if someone you love needs in-home care, Home Care Advocacy Network can help you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place is critical for many people. Home Care Advocacy Network can meet those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. HCAN of Southwest Iowa brings the personal touch to care. Visit hcan.com/Southwest Iowa to learn more. And if you're looking for all natural health solutions in Southwest Iowa, visit Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market, located at 805 South Main Street in Council Bluffs. You'll find a wide selection of vitamins, supplements, essential oils. Bambi's is my go-to place for all of my supplements. Also, I get some organic food there as well. I needed some almonds for a dessert that I was making, and she had just the exact thing I was looking for. Also, I'm now a fan of Celtic salt, and Bambi has that on her shelves as well. Explore all of your wellness options online at bambisgreenacres.com. Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market, putting health in your hands. Thanks again, Gitzy Loder of the Mills County Area Chamber of Commerce, for joining us on today's show. Lots of great interviews still coming up this week, and always looking for more. So if you know of someone that has a great story, whether it's a business, a nonprofit, or just something exciting that's happening around Southwest Iowa, let me know. Send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com, and we would love to be able to get them on the program. That's going to wrap things up for today. I am Todd Studer. Have a great Monday.